Hi, my name is Treves Thompson, and this is my oral final exam for counseling skills. So today, Lacey will play the client, Lisa, at a um, chemical dependency center, and I will play myself, TJ, the counselor, and I will be um, using two approaches. My first approach will be cognitive behavioral therapy and the use of a thought diary type of thing. And then the second part will be a person-centered approach. And here we are. Hi, Lisa.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Pretty good.
It's good.
So can you tell me a little bit of why you're here today?
Well, originally the courts kind of mandated me to seek some sort of help for my substance abuse issues, like my drinking and stuff like that, and I've been using prescription drugs as well.
Okay, did you go to like an AA or?
Yeah, I went to AA meetings and they really they it's hard to explain because they really did seem to help in the fact that it was good to have other people experiencing the same things I was experiencing, but I feel like it didn't help in the way that I just kind of felt like I was just more or less, you know what I mean, checking in.
Right. So
Kind
it
of.
like you would say it more or less it helped you, but it didn't give you what you needed.
Yeah, I just kind of felt like I was more or less going through the motions, and now I feel like it's just my issues are at a point where I feel like I need to get more help with it.
Okay.
And that's just what I'm trying to do. Nobody sent me here. You know what I mean? It's no longer like the AA meetings and those things were court mandated, but now this is just me trying to seek out help on my own because I feel that I do need
All
it.
right. And do you want to? I'm reading in your file you had some sort of um, past trauma. Would you like to speak on that?
Um, yes. And actually, I feel that I do feel it's something that is really kind of upsetting to me, but I do feel comfortable sharing it because I know that it happened to me, and I know that it's like kind of the root cause to why I am the way I am and why I've been struggling, and kind of the reason why I've been using, you know what I mean, to try to like numb the memories and the feelings and all the emotions that come with it. When I was younger, probably I wasn't, you know what I mean, I wasn't like a little kid or anything, but I was still pretty young. I want to say like 14 or 15, so I was
Okay.
just, you know what I mean, kind of getting into the teenage years. I was always really popular, and so the older kids and stuff, I always had a lot of friends, and I was always friends with the popular kids and the older kids, and so they would, you know what I mean, invite me to their parties and stuff and that kind of thing, and we'd all hang out, and we were, you know what I mean, we were all friends, or at least so I thought. And at one party I went to, I actually I had a little bit too much to drink, and um there was this really nice guy there. Well, at least I thought he was nice, and I kind of had a crush on him. But like I said, I was drinking a lot, and you know what I mean, I guess you could say I was being flirty or whatever. I was at a party, you know what I mean, but he
Right.
took advantage of me. And you know what I mean, bits and pieces are still foggy, but I remember vividly what he did. I remember telling him to stop. I remember knowing that I didn't want it to happen, but it kept happening, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. And it just, you know what I mean, it made me feel all sorts of different things. It made me feel worthless. It made me feel, you know what I mean, disgusting. It made me feel like it was
Right.
my fault. And I just know that was the turning point in my life where I started, you know what I mean, like not just drinking and doing those things like more recreationally. It became like more excessively because I was trying to.
Right. So you'd say it was like an everyday thing almost.
Yeah, it got, you know what I mean, it got to that point where it was that bad because I was really just trying to, you know what I mean, forget about it and numb the, you know what I mean, all the emotions that came with it.
So are you? Did you speak to anybody else about this?
Um, well, not like some, you know what I mean, like some of my close girlfriends and stuff like that, and I did, when the time it happened, I, you know what I mean, have a decent relationship with my mom. I did tell her about it, and, you know what I mean, she, of course, was brokenhearted, and she wanted, you know what I mean, something to come out, like, she didn't want to
She
obviously,
wanted
like,
something to be done.
yeah, she didn't want to have me re-experience the trauma, you know what I mean, again, but she wanted something to be done. Like, she wanted, so we did, you know what I mean, try bringing it to the school and things of that nature, which was really hard, but it was also really difficult because nothing really
Nothing came of it.
came of it. Yeah, because they couldn't really prove anything, and when it came down to it, I was a young girl at an older popular guy's party who was drinking in excess, and I was flirting with him and we were having a good time, you know what I mean?
Right.
They figured
Your fault.
I was asking for it, or, you know what I mean? Maybe I decided to have sex with him and I didn't want people to know, and I didn't want to be known as a slut, so I said that he, you know what I mean, took advantage of me, and that really, I feel like, almost added
Made
a
it worse.
a significant amount more to the trauma and all those emotions, like,
Feeling
no,
shamed and stuff like that.
exactly. It almost magnified those feelings of like disgust and like feeling that it was my fault, because those people were almost validating that, like, yeah, it was your fault, you were in the wrong place, you were doing the wrong thing.
So now you have like a sense of guilt, like it was all your fault. And
Yeah,
do you tend to have those thoughts often?
yeah, and it's messed up because, like I said, I know I told him no. I know what he did to me was wrong, and I know that I didn't want it to happen. And I know, and I also do know deep down that, you know what I mean, it's never the victim's fault. Like, if you tell somebody no, like, it doesn't matter what you're
Right, it
wearing,
shouldn't
it
happen at
shouldn't.
all.
But it just, like I said, all those feelings are there when that happens nonetheless, but I just, everybody else, you know, just kind of made me reiterate that fact.
Well, one of the things that I personally like to use, and it seems to work with a lot of my younger clients, not necessarily people that are as old as you, but it's worked with a few. Um, I like to use a thought diary.
Okay.
And in that, you can, when you're feeling like that, when you're feeling overwhelmed or ashamed or guilty, you know, you can write it down and write down the reasons why it's invalid.
Okay. Okay. That's.
And when you're writing down the things that are invalid, I want you to think about the situation. And I know it's hard to think about it, but when you think about exactly why it's wrong and why what happened to you was wrong, and write it down.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I actually like that idea. Like
get
that.
rid of the validation of why it's right or why what happened to you was your fault.
I actually like that. I really think that that would help me, like, almost like, even though it's me writing it, just seeing it, you know what I mean, right in front of my eyes,
Exactly.
just seeing that, you know what I mean, not necessarily, but just basically seeing that it's not your fault.
And then you've got to be able to understand through yourself by doing this that you're right. Not no matter what other people think, that even if they think that it was your fault, that it wasn't your fault, and that it's you have the power. It's all you.
Well, thank you for saying that, and I really feel like that will honestly, like, help, and I actually look forward to doing that.
I think it would really help with you because I was in kind of the same thing, but it wasn't a sexual assault. So I understand that. Where does your drinking stem from besides that? Is it just social? Is it
Well, I
do you
mean,
drink by yourself?
it like, it kind of, like I said in the beginning, it was more social, more recreational, you know what I mean? That's just what everybody was doing. That was a fun thing to do, you know what I mean? You go to parties, everybody's doing it, you know what I mean? So you just kind of do it, you know? But then after that happened, it became not as much social anymore, and it wasn't like, you know what I mean? Oh, well, you know what I mean? Even drinking in excess, like, oh yeah, I went to a party last weekend and I, you know what I mean, got drunk. It was like I wasn't even doing it with just friends. It became like by myself, and then, you know what I mean,
Right, you
taking
were
a,
like drinking at home.
yeah, taking a drink in the morning to, you know what I mean, get my day started, or, you know what I mean, I was having a stressful day, so I'd pour myself a drink, or, you know what I mean, I'd start feeling crappy and I'd make myself a drink, or, you know what I mean, it just
Right.
got to be more and more and more and more and more.
So you would say this has been going on for a long time,
Yeah, yeah.
for more than about 5 years.
Um, Yeah, I'd say right. I mean,
4
like
or
give or
5?
take, right around there. It's probably a good number, just because, like I said, I was about 14 or 15 when it initially kind of started, and then it just escalated and got more excessive from there.
So, since you're here on your own, is it a everyday thing? Like the feeling of doubt and making yourself feel down and ashamed and bad about what happened? Is that an everyday thing?
Just about, yeah. And I feel like that was kind of the main reason why I just decided to finally, you know what I mean, come on my own terms, just because it honestly comes and goes, you know what I mean? I'll have spurts where it's every day, and then, you know what I mean, I'll have spurts where a couple days won't bother me, or a week, or, you know what I mean?
Right.
But then it's like
It always comes back around.
yeah, it never goes away forever.
Okay.
And I know it never will go away forever, but I just know that I could be feeling a lot better than what I am right now.
Okay. Well, thank you for opening up to me. That's very, very hard to do sometimes.
Yeah, well, thank you for being, you know what I mean, so comfortable for me to be able to do that.
So, would you be able to tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 um, about how bad are your cravings for prescription drugs when you get them?
Well,
Like
I
let's
mean,
let's say the last time you used, how bad were your cravings 1 to 10?
I'd have to say maybe like a 7,
Okay.
just because, I like the feeling, you know what I mean? Just because even if it's just for that moment or whatever, when I take a pill or when I snort it or whatever, it makes me, even though I know it's just the high from the drug, it, you know what I mean, gives me a high, and it makes me feel good, or it makes me, you know what I mean, feel like I can get up and do stuff, and you know what I mean, it kind
Right.
of just, like I said, I don't know if it's just because of the euphoria and that it brings me, but it just kind of makes me like push everything else to the back of my head, and I just, you know what I mean, just kind of get up
Right.
and go.
Pushes you through your day.
Yeah.
Well, at least you've realized that's unhealthy. Um, I think we've done very good. Since you decided to come here on your own, I'm not sure if you need a Rule 25, but
Okay.
down the road that could be a possible thing for you.
Okay.
You could do a Rule 25 for both alcohol and narcotics.
Okay.
Um, if you'd like, we could meet more than once a week, but I think right now we would be good with once a week, and if it gets worse, we could do more intensive care. But I think you're doing very well so far.
Well,
I
thank
I
you.
commend you on coming in on your own.
I appreciate that. I really do.
So
It feels good to have someone say that.
I think you did very good today.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Bye bye.